Hello everyone. Today we are presenting about a digital single lens reflex camera, which is the Nikon D5300. It is very crucial for marketers to understand about consumers' behavior, how they use, purchase, and dispose of goods and services, as well as providing them marketing strategies to have deep insights into consumers' behavior. Today's presentation is presented by Harrison, Joseph, Locke, and An. Thank you.
Net recognition. So why the consumer needs to buy this product? Because the reason they buy camera, because the camera has a high quality, and some people want to buy a camera because they want to look professional, and the camera has the high image saving memory, more storage, and has many functions. So what may trigger a consumer to purchase a camera? Camera has many orthopedic function. Camera has the greater power to improve the image quality and noise control at the highest sensitive setting. It's hard to use for the beginner because has many functions that users need to know before using the camera, and consumers' current device may not be the latest version, so therefore they need to buy a latest camera to have a better photos. So my recommendation for the recognition is easy to use, great value, lots of useful options, high resolution, and decent performance and high quality.
Okay. So due to the high costs and mid to long-term results stemming from a customer's choice of camera, a consumer with little knowledge of these products will perform an information search in order to make an informed purchase decision. The information search would begin with the aforementioned need recognition, where they decide on factors to seek in their product, as well as establishing an approximate monetary budget and deciding whether to buy new or second-hand. The initial stages of the information search generally involve the customer drawing on their existing knowledge. This may vary, but a typical beginner photographer may have existing knowledge of brands, familiarity with more high-profile companies such as Nikon or rivals Sony, Canon, or Panasonic, just to name a few. The customer's knowledge of these brands may be established through advertising on TV, the internet, posters, and many other forms of marketing. In regards to the Nikon DSLR D5300, the highest exposure marketing that I have discovered are in-store posters and booklets, and testimonies to the product's quality through conversations or in newspapers or online journals. The customer may also be aware of recent news stories that relate to these brands, meaning that it is ideal that Nikon are perceived positively or not at all in high-profile news sources, as the customer may not buy products from companies that are perceived to be undesirable. Other existing knowledge possessed by consumers may be familiarity with cameras that they have borrowed or seen used by those close to them. This may influence a purchase decision, as a customer may feel more comfortable and confident using a product that they have used before or a product that is similar. The next step in the customer's information search will be seeking external influences. External influences can be gained actively through research such as reviews, browsing shops and prices, talking to people either close to the consumer or people the consumer may perceive as having some greater knowledge of cameras, such as photographers or people working in electronic shops, actively seeking out informative advertising or camera company websites. A more inquisitive customer may also trial cameras that they are interested in purchasing to discover differences for themselves, or visit photography gatherings, such as conventions, galleries, or online forums, or news sites such as Petapixel or digitalrev.com. In order to demonstrate this process, I performed an information search and listed what I learned about the Nikon DSLR D5300. From the official Nikon website, I discovered that the camera is a DSLR, meaning it is a digital single-lens reflex camera, has a fast XP4 image processor, a 2.42 megapixel CMOS, a 39-point autofocus, an improved white balance, a wide sensitivity range, can take full HD photos, has movie capability, built-in Wi-Fi, GPS function, and a 3.2-inch vari-angle monitor. I also learned that this camera has a number of accessories. Upon purchase, the customer would receive a battery, camera strap, body cap, shoe cap, and computer software, as well as the camera itself. In addition, 5 optional additional accessories were listed separately for this product that could be purchased separately. After this, I looked at reviews for this camera, and generally the perception is very positive. Despite being 4 years old, since this camera was originally available for purchase in October 2013, since being put into production, many reviews touted the D5300 as competing well with even other modern cameras. Most reviews, including those found on TechRadar, D-Preview and Expert Reviews, stating that this camera is a good choice for a beginner photographer as it is cheaper than the newer models and is compatible with all modern accessories such as lenses and flashes, and takes good looking and high resolution photographs. These reviews were critical of the menu design, stating it was frustrating to navigate, the lack of brightness settings, and the fact that the camera has only one trigger button. These issues may bother an advanced photographer, but may not a beginner photographer. I also looked at prices and found that this camera could still be bought as new for around $550 to $650, or in optional packages with additional gear or accessories. And when looking at advertising for this camera, I saw that it is marketed as a modern outdoors, adventurous, adaptable and durable camera, packed with features that is easy to use, compact and portable. Because of my information search, I propose that to better market to potential customers in this stage of the buying process, the Nikon closely compares the advantages of this product against similarly priced competitors, especially highlighting features that a beginner photographer may value, such as ease of use, and also bringing to the consumer's attention that this camera is still a high quality product despite being a few years old now. I also suggest that higher profile marketing may be used in places or times that a consumer may be considering purchasing their first camera. For example, small ads in scenic or photogenic locations where a consumer may be inspired to take up photography.
When buying an entry-level camera, the consumer would likely seek out other alternatives, because there is considerable risk involved in the purchase. An entry-level camera can be considered a high involvement purchase because the product is usually expensive. It isn't bought regularly as the buyer would expect the product to last a reasonably long time, and is self-expressive. Because of this, the consumer will evaluate the pros and cons of the alternative products and brands to ensure the product will have the appropriate functions for the photographer's needs. In the evaluation of the product, the consumer unconsciously uses what is known as an evoke set to consider the options. An evoke set describes the specific information they have about the specific product, including what they have heard about in the past, which brands sell or are associated with the product, and which website stores can supply the consumer with further information. By evoking this set, the consumer creates a large number of options. These options need to be reduced. To do this, the consumer will form a set of criteria so they can compare the alternatives of each product and brand. During this process, they reflect objective states or facts about the product, such as cost, features and functionality, subjective states or emotional response to the product, such as appearance and the image of how the product benefits the consumer's life. This is achieved by however not limited to cutoffs, which is the minimum maximum limit set for product. For entry-level camera, the cutoff list may include the price limit to $500 to $1,000, a minimum of 5 frames per second, maximum shutter speed of 1/4000th of a second, and must have feature advanced photo system Type-C sensor. Attributes of the chosen product include unique features and specific characteristics such as price and product features that are weighed against each other to help reach a final decision. Some attributes to consider when buying a camera include shooting speed, megapixels, battery life, extra features, and price. In the table, we have a comparison between Nikon D5300 and two competitors, Canon EOS Rebel T5i and Pentax K50. When we compare the model, we see each camera may suit different consumer needs. If price is a problem, then Nikon and Canon may be considered. However, Pentax has higher frame rate per second, justifying price. Conversely, Nikon has better battery life and more megapixels than both alternatives. Interacting consumers to Nikon, they should categorize cameras in 3 categories: general public, beginner and expert photographers. Also, limit the number of models available, as a large selection of any product results in a choice overload and can reduce the motivation of a purchase. This can also lead to possible regret due to the potential of missing out on a better camera.
Hi, so today we're talking about the purchase decision for Nikon D5300. So Nikon D5300 is believed to target beginner photographers who has limited budget. In the market, there are many kinds of smartphones and compact cameras that could replace the camera, but it could also bring us great photos. However, from the photographer's perspective, those kinds of camera are not suitable for the real photography, and they would like the real camera. There are 4 reasons why Nikon is chosen. Firstly, the digital cameras are expensive, so people would consider this as a one-time purchase. So they would need to do extensive research on which one to buy. So they tend to look for the well-known brands like Nikon and Canon. So according to topyaps.com, these are the 2 most popular digital brands. Then they have the consistent tendency to sell more than others. Secondly, in comparison with other professional camera products, Nikon D5300 is shown to be much more affordable and fully function like other cameras. Furthermore, since Nikon is a well-known brand, their products and accessory will be found worldwide with warranty. And finding accessory or claiming product insurance should not be an issue here. Third reason, when compared to their biggest competitors like Canon 700D right here, the price is slightly higher. However, Nikon's camera seems to overweight products from Canon because they have higher megapixels and longer battery life. Although D5300 doesn't contain touchscreen like the 700D does, but they contain Wi-Fi and GPS built in, so it still works. And but from the photographer's point of view, whether they are from professional background or they're just beginning to shoot photos, they would care about the megapixels and battery life more than a fancy function like touchscreen. Right? So my recommendations for Nikon's marketing strategy is they should be more careful comparing their products with their biggest competitors like Canon to highlight advantages of their products. And secondly, they should focus more about advertisements on social medias like Facebook and Twitter, because not a lot of new releases for beginners cameras advertised widely on social medias. Thank you.
Once the consumer has purchased the camera and has had a chance to use it, they would perform post-purchase behaviours that will determine how well the product fulfills their needs and meets or does not meet expectations. The consumer would first consider how well the Nikon D5300 camera integrates into their lifestyle. This would be where the portability, durability, Wi-Fi capability and functionality would be seen as major benefits. However, the difficulty navigating the menu and the lack of flash options may frustrate some users. The myriad of interchangeable accessories would be seen as a big benefit, as they allow beginner photographers to purchase upgrades to their product as they require, and should they ever wish to upgrade their camera to a more expensive model, they would not need to discard their pre-bought accessories, since all Nikon cameras accessories are compatible with all other camera models. The consumer's experience with the Nikon D5300 may influence future purchases for a few reasons. Should a consumer come to rely on this particular camera, they would be likely to purchase upgrades for it, as stated above, and when the time comes to purchase a newer camera model, a consumer is more likely to stick with a familiar brand to avoid having to learn how to use a new, different camera. A satisfied consumer may also recommend this camera to others, leading to more future sales. As a response to these post-purchase behaviours, I propose that Nikon advertises customer testimonies from buyers who enjoyed the product, especially photographers, and show the long-term viability of the purchase by clearly advertising the wide array of available accessories, as well as touting the continued support this product receives from even modern accessories, despite its age of the product, to show the customer that the product is still a competitor on the market.
In our conclusion, these are my our recommendation. So Nikon camera will be appreciated by consumer for the quality of this product. Our recommended changes for the Nikon D5300 market are focused on the value and performance of the camera, and to advertise and inspiring locations to beginner photographers, to market the customer testimonies and continue support the product.